Come with me behind the screen where I show you how I designed a brand identity for a small town brunch cafe, from conducting research to creating the mood board, all the way until designing the final identity. Stick till the end to see the final result. The brand that we're going to be working on is a small brunch cafe that is vintage Parisian style inspired for those who want to go back in time just a little while still enjoying modern hospitality and luxurious treatment. This is a passion project, so most of the strategy that you will see in this video is all made up, but also backed by research. Now, in my typical branding process, I always have 5 stages. Brand strategy and research. This is where we define the foundation of the brand. Who are we trying to target? Who are we speaking to? What's the vibe of the brand? What sets this brand apart? Then the creative direction. This is all about nailing the vision, creating mood boards, picking the colors, the typography, and the whole aesthetic vibe. Then the next stage is concept design. Here is where I sketch the logos, the iconography, and other brand elements, while also applying the brand colors that I've picked. Then concept refinement. Once I have the initial designs, then I move to concept refinement. That's where I tweak and polish the designs based on the feedback given by the client. And once we're happy with the final result, then we move on to brand collaterals. That is where I create all the deliverables like merch, packaging, print like business cards, menus, and social media posts, anything and whatever the client needs to bring the brand to life. And if the client opted for website design, then that would be the next phase. Let's start by having a look at the brief. I knew I wanted the cafe to be called something memorable like the brunch place, but I wanted it to have a specific location. Now, since this is a passion project, I asked ChatGPT to brainstorm some made up small town names, something that feels quaint and timeless. I really liked the name Verdun. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. So the name is now the brunch place at Verdun. The deliverables I'll be working on are the visual identity, custom illustrations, social media posts, some merch, and restaurant items like the menu, the uniform, etc., etc. Now, research is usually a huge part of my process. For this project, I looked at 3 popular French cafes for inspiration: La Nouvelle Grande, Café de Flore, Le Rostand. I'm butchering the pronunciation for sure. I took French, I think 20 years ago, and I'm starting to forget it. La Nouvelle Grande's ambience is modern, sleek design, yet still cozy. Probably features minimalist decor, but with attention to luxurious details. Their branding is clean, sophisticated, with a minimalist logo and high-end presentation. Whereas Café de Flore is iconic, classic, and quite popular. Their vibe is vintage decor, full of history, with a cozy, laid-back, yet prestigious atmosphere. I like that their branding is nostalgic, very traditional, with a logo that speaks to their history and heritage. And then for the last one, Le Ressent, their vibe is romantic, intimate, and a mix of both modern and vintage charm. And their branding is less minimalist, more inviting and classic, with a focus on being a neighborhood staple. So from this, I understood that La Nouvelle Grande represents modern luxury, whereas Café de Flore and Le Rostand embodies a timeless tradition. So to differentiate the brunch place, I knew that I had to strike a balance between the innovation of La Nouvelle Grande and the nostalgic comfort of Café de Flore and Le Rostand. It would be nice to make it like a blend of the old and new in order to attract those whose lifestyle values quality aesthetics and meaningful moments over quantity. They love exploring aesthetic cafes that don't feel too exclusive. They're passionate about supporting local businesses. They prioritize experiences over things, meaning they prefer quality time with loved ones. And they're not too serious, they're okay with a little bit of humor and sarcasm. So, for that, the brand personality would be soft luxury. So, think delicate details. I'm thinking soft tones and maybe like an upscale feel, but without the overwhelming pretension. And I want it to feel inviting as well. So, I'm thinking like cozy, comfortable, and welcoming environment with a charm that makes customers feel like, regulars. And of course, it's going to be a modern classic. So it's deeply rooted in, the classic Parisian cafe style, but it also reflects that modern hospitality standards. So we're blending like both worlds seamlessly. The cafe is going to have a subtle sense of humor and it doesn't take itself too seriously, but it still maintains an air of sophistication. When it comes to the brand voice, I think the brunch place would sound charming and witty. So this place wants customers to feel, like they're treated to something special without being too serious. There is this feminine with strength kind of tone, elegant and polished, with a warmth that makes it feel accessible. And of course, I want the voice and tone to feel playful but refined. So I came up with the tagline that says low key indulgence, and I feel like it really plays well with the brand personality and the brand voice. Then I moved on to creating the mood board, which is one of my favorite stages in a project. I collected photos to capture the cafe's vibe. So, vintage Parisian charm with soft muted tones. I'm thinking neutrals and definitely having that deep green. And then I moved on to my iPad. So I usually start sketching on my iPad, and then if I need to look for those specific fonts that match the illustration that I drew, then I go ahead and look for these fonts. Otherwise, I vectorize the sketches and it becomes like a custom font, a custom typeface. I wanted the logo to feel timeless yet fresh, so I combined a handwritten script font with a clean sans serif font. So to tie it all together, I drew an icon inspired by those classic French bistro chairs. You typically find them in French cafes. So once the main logo was done, I played around with creating different logo variations as well, submarks, and it's always nice to have submarks and logo variations like these so that you can have more depth to the brand. So next is creating the mock-ups. So I created mock-ups for the menus, staff uniforms, and merch. I even used AI tools like Midjourney to generate stock photos and bring the vision to life. And here's the result: a brand that feels cohesive, charming, and ready to transport customers to their favorite little cafe in Paris. But, this one is in a small town. Branding the brunch place at Verdun was so much fun. I did get a lot of inspiration and motivation for this project from visiting small town cafes. It's a great reminder that, branding is more than just your visuals. It's about creating a memorable experience through the visuals, the message that you're going to use, and the little touch points like, selling merch to really build like a loyal customer base. If you enjoyed this video and you found it inspiring, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I would really love to hear your thoughts and suggestions for future videos. I'll see you in the next one.